Lovely day, am I right? Are we all relaxed and prepared? I certainly am. Or at the very least, if everything goes as planned. Welcome to Station 112.211, the show for all things Sunderfell. I'm your host, Tim Scott, here to bring you a sprinkling of everything under our observing and loving sun. First comes the morning rabble. I've been watching some Get Ready With Me videos on the internet recently. If you don't know me, I've always been fascinated by the variety of products and the idea of self-image. As the only person in town with 4 arms, I often have to deal with self-consciousness, which leads me to distract the people around me with my clothing and my, you guessed it, makeup. I'm a big fan of bold looks, like colorful eyeliner, decorative nails, and the abundant use of rhinestones in my everyday outfits. And while that may just be my opinion, I think the techniques that I have learned can benefit my audience. So, as part of this broadcast, I will decorate my face with colors and patterns in order to garner the attention of the passersby in hopes they satiate my ever-increasing need for validation. Now, onto other news. Sunset Breeze Mall hosted a community fashion show recently, which had folks submit ideas centered around the theme, signs around town, and had their input made into outfits, which were displayed in the show. And I'll discuss some of the best outfits, in my opinion. One of the first pieces they had shown was a caution sign-inspired piece, a patchwork of bright yellow, each in different stages of decomposition, so the shades were different, tight against the model's frame, with sleeves made of barbed wire, luckily rounded so they didn't harm the model. The submission was from one Jerry Solman, and earned a much-needed round of applause. Near the middle came a piece inspired by the famous Target sign of, Target, a red and white striped blouse with geometric red rings as a skirt. They bounced as the model walked, the high heels they wore playing pre-recorded dog noises with each step. This submission was anonymous, but hopefully they were in the audience to witness the cheering they got. The final piece on display, submitted by one Raymond Colton, who prefers to be called Ray, actually, was a beautiful suit with a stripe design with street names running vertically along it. The bow tie and hat that came with it were sparkly green, matching the stripes. The model did a fabulous heel turn, and the whole crowd went crazy. And I remember seeing Ray there, actually. He was blushing and buried his face in his hands, obviously embarrassed by how much the crowd adored his idea. I hope you have another show soon. I have a couple ideas myself that I wish I had offered. The Committee for the Retrieval of Lost Items has compiled a list of lost pet posters that have accumulated over the years, and are now searching for them in order to return them back to their families. And with this mission, they have asked me to list the lost pets on the radio in the hopes some people have seen them. Starting off, we have a tuxedo cat named Kosi, missing for 2 weeks, bright green eyes, known to be skittish but loves wet cat food, called Kosi's family the Fowls if you find her. A Havanese dog named Jamie, missing for 1 month, peachy blonde hair with a pastel blue collar. If you find him, call the number on the collar. A passenger pigeon named John, missing since 1902. Autumn-colored belly, stark red eyes, he does react to his name being called. If you find him, you should turn yourself into the police, since passenger pigeons went extinct over 100 years ago and you're a chronomancer. A tokay gecko named Leopold, not missing, but he will be in 3 years, as he currently isn't in town or in the possession of the person filing this poster, who seems to be, Francesca, one of our managers here at the station. He has a blackish, often open mouth, and makes a lot of noise. A Great Dane named Cardinal, missing for about 3.75 weeks. Large rock, gray body, loose jowls, a kind of threatening bark that often strikes fear into those who hear it. Call the number on his collar, or just run away screaming, "I found him!" The owners will most likely know who you mean. And finally, a goldfish in a plastic bag named Bubbles, missing for 2 days. She was lost at the pier, and the child who made this very scribbly and near illegible poster is worried sick. Call the kid's mother, Pamela, if you find her, dead or alive. This has been the Morning Rabble. Moving on, we have the weather. The skies are partly cloudy, leading to a bit of a chill in the air, though I'm certain it will clear up in the coming days. If you're sensitive to the cold, I would suggest wearing a sweatshirt, thin bike gloves, or tall socks with the words, "busy making a fucking difference" sewn into the material to help you warm up. With the summer arriving, we have been losing those nicer, not too hot, not too cold days, and are moving into the much hotter days instead. If you have air conditioning in your house, be sure to save up money, because I imagine this summer is going to be a doozy. Then again, I can't predict the future. With how nippy it's been this week, we might enter another ice age. Who knows? Anyway, that was the weather for today, and my predictions of the weather in the future. I've got most of my goodies here, so let us continue with the gruem. Or rather, the makeup portion of the Get Ready With Me, as I don't have any stories to tell today. Maybe in the future? Whatever suits the audience's fancy. I'm going to do my Thursday routine today, and we'll start with eyeliner, which just requires an object that is the color you desire, a matchbox, and a calm mind, empty of cruel thoughts. Be sure the objects can be crushed or torn apart, like a crayon or a lump of clay, which I currently have here at this moment. Take out a match, the brand doesn't matter, light it, and then light the object, while chanting softly. The object's energy, which emanates from it once it comes in contact with fire, will change the color of the flame to that of said object. Place the match on your closed eyelid and allow the pigmentation of miracles to caress your skin with her might. Do this once or twice for both eyes, and don't worry, it doesn't hurt. Glance into a mirror or ask a nearby person if the effects have taken place. If they have, we'll be moving on. If not, I don't know what to tell you. For the next step, we will be applying blush. This process only requires a flower and a small cup of water, tainted with salt. Speaking the same chant as used earlier, dip the flower's petals into the cup. Hold it in place for a minute or two. Pluck the wet petals from the flower, the excess can be discarded, and crush them into a fine powder. The powder can be applied to your skin like a normal product, and will be the desired vibrancy when it permeates your body. I personally created a pastel lavender blue blush today, in order to match the blue eyeliner. Again, don't worry about lasting effects. The blush can be wiped off with normal makeup remover, and even has a lingering floral scent. And finally, lipstick. Take a tube of whatever color you desire, mine obviously being blue, to match my nautical theme, and apply it by smearing the tip onto your mouth. Pursing your lips will apply pressure to the lipstick, and will make it more inclined to stay on. Add anything else you wish, maybe a pair of earrings or another accessory to complete the look, and you're done! Praise be to the elegant radiance, and let us go to the ads! The day is yours. The day and its choices, hopes, dreams, desires, and soon-to-be-made accomplishments. It is fragile and must be protected. Trap it in a silver locket shaped like a heart, or enclose the essence in a diamond of an engagement ring. K's jewelry. Don't let your day run away. It will certainly try to. Tired of restarting your washer and watching as the stains don't get removed? Are you tired of eating junk food in your apartment, watching miserable rom-coms as your body slowly atrophies? What about evading those piling bills on your kitchen table? Do you remember the last time you fed your dog? Do you even remember the fact you have a dog, you forgetful piece of shit? Tide. If it's got to be clean, which it has to be, you dirtbag, it's got to be Tide. Please don't consume them. Want a break from the ads? If you speak the incantation into your radio subtitled below, you will receive 2 weeks free of ads. That's right, the incantation below allows you to be free of the shackles of profit-seeking companies. Unless you don't speak it. See you soon! Welcome to Book Club, the segment where I either recommend, critique, or gush over a story I've read. Today, we'll be reviewing the book Universal by Rochelle Beauregard. It is listed in the community charter that all CCMs must write a novel, of any genre, in their time in this elite group of town leaders. Mel only participated in 2 book clubs his entire career. The books he reviewed and shared, both by Elise Viana, the owner of the Riddenwood Winery, were only educational books about handling a winery and good tips on team management. With this improved book club, run by yours truly, we will dig into past stories written by the older generations, as well as look at modern classics. Rochelle Beauregard was part of the Citizen Council 80 years ago, back when a mayor oversaw their efforts. She was an uptight woman, the manager at the Sunset Breeze's Nordstrom rack, and she was seen as, quote, the woman to get things done, despite her not being the final say, who officiates all decisions made by the council. Our current final say, Barbara Ridge, considers Rochelle one of her role models. Universal is a fiction novel with themes of grief and familiar relationships, as it tells the story of a police officer in an alternate universe in which the Cold War blew to violent proportions. It's a pretty easy read, maybe about 9th grade level, with very descriptive storytelling, compelling characters, and heartfelt emotions. I read this novel a long time ago, and I really enjoyed it. To give you a taste, I'll read a small excerpt. The air felt thin around Nicholas's face. Perhaps in his sharp gasp, he had rid the world around him of oxygen. Though the flowers around him, as drab as they were, showed no signs of wilting. He felt his heart lurch, and his feet felt lacking of purchase. That was his daughter, Emily, and she was running away from him. Highly recommended, and since it was made by a local figure, I say support her. Even if she has been dead for 30 years. Give it a read, and if you see me on the street, tell me how it was. This has been the Book Club. I must say, we all look amazing. I mean, I can't see any of you, but I bet you look fantastic. Carl, my roommate, told me he would follow along with me, so I can't wait to see how he looks. I hope the makeup allowed you to reach a more genuine version of yourself. I know it helped me. If you want me to do this again, I have a lot of other tools I'd be more than willing to share. So, be sure to tell us if you're interested. For now, we'll just have to see. Up next is a recording of Joan and I having a conversation outside and blowing bubbles. Fare thee well.